What's up everybody, Tech Chucker here, and today we're going to do a review of the Marvel Select Ultimate Hulk. Now, this, I believe, was one of my very first Marvel Select figures. It may have even been my very first. I picked them up at my local comic shop. They actually recommended Marvel Select, which brought me down that road instead of the Marvel Legends, and I kind of wish that I would have started with the Legends. There are definitely some good selects that I love. This is absolutely not one of them. There are so many issues. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. Articulation is by far the worst part about this figure. It almost makes this thing. You almost should have made this thing a statue, but the head is. It's got a hinge, and it's really strange. I've never seen this on a figure, but yeah, there's just this weird hinge, which allows him to look side to side okay, but even the range of motion for side to side isn't that great. There's no up or down, there's no tilt, nothing. In the shoulders, there's a ball hinge, which actually doesn't work too bad. You can get his arm just above his shoulder, which is actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. You do have to pry on it, and he's got full rotation of that arm, so no issues there. There is a bicep swivel, which works good. No elbow joints, none. And then there is a peg joint in the wrist, which having a hinge would have been good. Moving into the torso, there's nothing in the torso. The hips are really weird. There's a hinge. You can see these weird hinges, which look really, really bad. And then there is this peg joint swivel thing, which on the inside, in the crotch, looks terrible. It's okay on the outside, but you really don't get a lot of range of motion. He can kind of move back a little bit. He can move his leg forward decent, but there's no knee joints. Again, no knee joints. And then the ankle, there is a hinge, but he can move it forward a little bit, not really back at all. So you're really, really limited in the different poses that you can do with this figure. And that's kind of where I come back to this. Really should have been designed as a statue instead of an actual action figure. And I know that I think this is one of the earlier figures that Selects came out with, possibly. But articulation is a major, major fail on this thing. The sculpt on this figure is probably the best part about it, and it's not even all that great. Uh, we'll talk about it. So the face sculpt, I really like the face sculpt. I think they did a phenomenal job with this face sculpt. I think it's really, really nice. I do think that the vein on the side is a little bit too much. The paint is fairly clean where it needs to be, but some of the black wash is just a little bit, I don't know. I'm not really sure that I really like all the paintwork. The eyes are a little funky looking. The hair is painted and sculpted fairly nicely. So I would say that the head sculpt is the best part about this figure, and it's probably also the best part about the paint as well. And that's not saying a lot. So the figure itself, moving into the upper torso region, number one, this figure is a lot lighter than I would have expected. The sculpt of the torso is nice enough. The musculature and the arms are nice enough. You can see the seam. I hate seeing these seams. It just looks like it's cheap, molded plastic, which it is. And I was talking about it being very light. It is very, very light. It's just, you can see there's some chipping on the butt. The pants could have been nice, or the shorts, had they painted them a little bit differently. To me, it just looks like this thing's been sitting out in my yard for like 3 years and the paint has worn away. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like it's an actual figure that was meant to be painted this way. It looks like it's something that's just worn out. The toes and the feet are painted nice enough. The sculpt work is okay. I think the veins are just a little bit too much on this figure. But overall, I'm probably just being overly critical. Maybe, maybe not. They did sculpt in the pockets on the butt, which is nice. But overall, I'm really disappointed with this figure. A lot of it is because of that articulation again, but it looks nice enough as a statue. And that's what it should have been. They should have put it in a nice dynamic pose and made it a statue. Okay, this figure comes with no accessories, so there's really no point in talking about it. Overall, this figure was a big disappointment when I got him and I actually took him out of the package. I left him in the package for about a year, and then finally I opened him up, and I should have kept him in the package. Live and learn. So I paid like 24 bucks for him, which is regular retail price. I really wish that I would have found this one at discount. I got them from my local comic book shop. They usually don't steer me wrong, and you know what? It's really that guy's personal preference. He prefers the selects. I prefer articulation. He likes sculpt and paint, so I'm not going to fault him whatsoever. So I would say pass on this figure, especially if you're a Marvel Select fan. It's definitely not one of their better figures. It's probably one of their worst. So take that into consideration when you're looking at different Hulks to buy.
Alrighty folks, I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, click the subscribe button. Check out some of my other videos. You can see them right up here and down here. Also, check out the featured video that I've got here. Every single video I'm going to feature someone else's video. Somebody who has a channel, either it's an up-and-comer like myself or somebody who's an old pro. Whatever it is, it's going to be awesome. So make sure you go check it out, like their content, subscribe to their channel, and until next time, I'll see you later.
Tech Checkers Brain Blast.